to be honest, pull upon us. You know we ain't young, we've been through it. So come and take a seat, get comfortable. Wanna share your world, you can trust your girls. We just try to hear your truth. If you wanna talk about it, let's talk about it. There's a seat reserved for you. So say what you want, ain't no right or wrong. It's your vibe, you choose. If you wanna talk about it, let's talk about it. There's a seat reserved for you, yeah.
Welcome to the Reserve Seat, the show where we... No. You guys should know the score by now, and if you don't, then you haven't been watching.
So today's show is going to be a little bit different. We are reflecting on the first season. And before we get into our reflection, we need to thank Bella, MNEK, Mimi, and No Guidance for not only giving us their time, but trusting us and having very open, very raw and honest conversations with us. We appreciate y'all down. Thank you.
Absolutely. This season would not have been what it is without you guys, so we appreciate y'all.
Real bad.
But little Miss Kabba,
Yes, babes.
shall we start at the very beginning?
Let's do it. Let's talk about how the reserve seat came about.
Yes.
So I literally had to write down the date because I went through my phone and I was like, when did we talk about this show? When was this like conceptualized?
Wait, sorry. One thing about Kabba, she will have the date, the time, the day it was. I don't know. She'll probably know what you were doing when she was
Okay.
texting you.
I love a nasty receipt. I love me a receipt. But okay, so the date officially was the 28th of Jan, 2021. That's when we first discussed this show. And I sent you a message that read, okay, let's have a little read.
I hope it's PG.
It is, of course it's PG. Mind you, with a GIF.
Of course.
Of course it's a GIF. And it says, so check this. What if our podcast wasn't a podcast at all? What if it was a YouTube game show? And you replied, well, I'll be damned. That could really be a vibe. And then we go on to talk about it. And I was like, think Jimmy Fallon meets Countdown, meets Wheel of
Yep,
Fortune, meets
yep.
Graham Norton.
Basically meets all of them.
Meets all of them. But like, it needed to be not just another one of those quote unquote podcasts.
Yes.
We needed
Yes.
it to be something that was intellectual. We're having amazing chats with people. We're finding out people's journeys and their stories, but also we're having fun.
Yes.
Because we are serious girlies, but we're very unserious girlies as
Yeah.
well. So we needed to like inject the two in there.
No, 100%. And I think that actually shows off our personalities.
100%.
Because as if you watched the first ever episode, you would know that my girl's super smart. And we also like going to museums and doing educational
Period.
stuff. So this is not something that we just happen to be like, shall we do that? Shall we just make it educational? But also at the same time, like just have a little bit of a laugh. We genuinely were like, this is stuff we do when we're not actually on camera.
Yeah, exactly. These are conversations that we just have naturally. And we were like, this actually would work really well as a show.
Yeah.
So first of all, the misconception that it's a podcast. So let's just like squash
Yes.
that. It is a show.
It is a show.
We want this to be a show. We are thinking of TV, frankly.
Yeah.
That's what it gives. Look
It
at the
does.
quality, honey.
It does. The lights.
It never gave
the
podcast.
cameras.
It gave show, babe.
The mics.
Right. So when we're fleshing out this show, again, just like injecting parts of our personality into it. Obviously, again, memes are a big part of my personality. So memes and melodies came about. And I quote, again, we would call each other and say silly, silly little things. And I'd be like, that's a show. That's a game show. And then also, did you see that tweet? Yeah.
If you
'cause
go through our
literally-
DMs, it's tweet. We're sending each other tweets like, did you see this?
Did you see that tweet? Did you see that tweet? Or when we have a phone call, we'd be like, did you see that tweet last week? And we'd be like, hello, let's just put it in the show.
Yes.
So that's how these initial ideas came about. But can you give people some insight into how we run the show?
So I guess what we do is most of the times we will discuss who we want on the show.
Yep.
And we'll reach out to them, make sure that we can 100% get the person. We've been really lucky that everyone that we've reached out to that was on the show was super helpful, super down for it too, because I think a lot of people, you know, it is a new show. They haven't seen it before, so it is hard to sometimes get people to understand what we were trying to do.
For sure.
And it's a really small team. It's me and Amy. We would sit down with each other and we'd literally write on our laptops or over our phones and go through, what do we want to talk about? We're going to have MNEK on, for example. Luckily, Amy's known Uzo for, since you lot fell out of the Croydon womb.
Croydon?
Catford womb, not Croydon. Lewisham, Southeast womb.
Lewisham, Catford. Yeah.
That womb. So in that sense, it was really, really easy to dive into it. But yeah, we start by sitting down with each other off camera. Obviously, we flesh out how we want it to look. So the first part would be the interview part.
Yep.
So we'd find all questions that we haven't seen them asked before. Do you know what I mean? Because the thing is, we don't want to be doing things that people have seen already. What's 100%. The point in that? It's boring. We wanted to kind of be like, what are questions that we would genuinely want to know, or answers even, what we'd want to know about that person. So 9 times out of 10 we'll sit down, get all the questions together, and then it's tailoring certain style games to that person. As you would have seen this season, sometimes there's certain bits in the show that you might have seen with Uzo and No Guidance, but there might not be that for Bella. So it's really just us two knocking our heads together, writing it all out. And then, we've got WhatsApp chats. We speak to the guys behind the cameras that you don't see. And then we have to go through all of that.
Yeah, I think, again, a big part that maybe people don't understand is the level of research that we do.
Yes.
Because before we ask these questions, we have to research our guests. Yes. So it means diving into their old interviews, their biographies, autobiographies. And again, just wanting to ask intellectual, conversational questions. We don't care what their body counts are.
No.
Nobody cared about it.
No.
Like, we are grown women and we want to have grown, sophisticated conversations, but also, get to the laughs when it's time to get to the laughs. So I think that's a little gem that people need to
100%
know and recognize.
It's too easy. It's too easy to set up a camera, put a mic in front of you and just talk about crazy stuff.
These might be talking about anything at all.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it never gave that.
No,
as well.
100%. Because one, that's not us, and two, we actually are interested in our guests.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They're interesting people. They are people that have got a lot of credibility to their name. So we're not just going to sit there and ask them stuff, quite frankly, that I don't think we deserve to know.
So
let's ask them the stuff that we want to know, that's about them, their work, whatever it is, and 100%. Also just see their personalities. And we've been very lucky with the guests we've had. Yeah,
and again, everyone's been very open, very honest, and I think that's also a credit to us too. But big up. Should we move on to talking about some more of the challenges that we've had to face?
Yes, I think, we've both had moments in our career where we've been up here and things are going really, really well. Everyone wants to know you. Everyone will do you favors and all of that stuff. And then we've had moments in our career where, you call and it just rings.
Yep.
And that's been one of the challenges for sure. But I think it's that thing of when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. And we experienced that. There's people that we thought were, we had good relationships with. We'd bantered with them. We'd gone out with these people. And we respected them ultimately, hence why we wanted to ask to have them on the show.
Right.
And you'd send a message and you would get dust, or you might get a response and they might say that thing of, can you give me a bit more information? And you give them a deck, for example, so they understand what we wanted to do when they come here. And you just don't get a response. Or, and I'm sure that's happened to you because that's happened to me, they see that, they ignore, and then you post something else and they're there.
Oh, baby girl.
Yeah.
Oh, you look so good.
Yeah.
Oh, congrats. But the above message is just floating.
Exactly. And I know you see it.
Yeah.
If I see it, you see it.
Yeah, you saw it. It's a shame. It's disappointing. I think, again, it can be disheartening, but ultimately, one thing about you and I, we're going to push through.
100%.
And push through, we did. Yep. And again, big up all of our guests that actually gave us their time and trusted us.
Yep.
And shame on y'all that didn't.
Exactly.
And also, let's just keep it really, really funky, right? You lot that said no, don't double back. Oh, we don't spin blocks, babe. Blocks get burnt down. So we've reached out, we've done the respectful thing, and that it's absolutely fine for you to not want to come on the show, but don't now want to come on it because you've first of all seen certain names, and again the names are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger each season, and also because you can see that it's sick. Obviously, it's sick.
But like again, it's that thing of just say.
Period.
Or even like do the industry thing of I would so love to do it. I just have no time.
So busy right now.
Because, a lot of people love to use the line that they're very busy.
Everyone's so busy,
So
babe.
please,
Everyone's so
this is
busy,
the time where
girl.
you use the line "you're busy."
Yeah, just leaving us on red is so rude. It's so rude and disrespectful. And then, like you said, the next thing being like, heart eyes, go.
Yeah, please. But no, I think that moves on nicely to the thing of doing it on our own.
Man, I don't think we can overstate just how much of this is done just us two.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, that all of this, apart from, of course, the filming elements, which we'll get to, are done just with us two.
Yeah.
And this is all our money.
Yep.
I think maybe there's a misconception that we've got like some sponsorships, that we've got some rich African financing us.
Yeah.
I wish.
If you're watching.
I wish, child. We're available.
Woo!
My bride prize ain't that high.
Yeah, and bridesmaids fee as well. Like, if she's gonna get a bride price, I would like a little bit of that.
Well, obviously, just kidding, guys. But yeah, no, there is really nobody else behind the scenes apart from Dionne and I.
Yes.
This is. The checks are getting cut 50-50. She's got to pay a fee. I got to pay a fee. We got to pay for this, that, and the next. And again, as well as, you know, writing the scripts, doing the research, all of that stuff, you guys will also see us like physically setting up the studio with our team. But yeah, I think it's really important to clear up that we pay for everything.
We do.
We pay for everything.
Yes, I mean, we've had people ask us if there's budget for them to appear on the show. I wish there was. I wish there was budget. Trust
and
me.
then not only to appear on the show, but if there's budget for glam, I'm like, girl, we do our own glam. So let's
So
let's clock that.
Yeah.
Before we
if
clock
we could
anything
tuck
else.
our wigs down,
Hello.
we would too.
Yeah, genuinely, our wigs are the only things that we don't do ourselves.
Yeah.
Everything else we do ourselves. But yeah, by next season, we might be doing our own wigs. We might be doing our own wigs
God
as
forbid.
well. Yeah, no, only bigger, only better.
Exactly.
But yeah, we just wanted to clear up that misconception. I think that people have potentially got, that we've got some kind of sponsorship.
Yeah.
Again, soon come.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Soon come. Brand trips, brand deals, sponsorships up the wazoo, like soon come. But honestly, this first season was our brains, our finances.
It was.
Period.
It's our little baby, and you know,
is.
we want to be hands-on because we want you guys to literally feel like you're talking to us in our wherever we're talking, whether it's in our living rooms, whether it's on the phone, whether it's at a restaurant. We wanted that, and I'm proud of us.
Yeah, me too.
I'm proud of you.
Proud of you, babe.
And I'm really happy that this season, you know, it was what we wanted it to be. And
100%.
more. Boy, it was a road.
Ooh,
It was a long road, but we're here. We're here.
Talking of long roads, right? Let's talk about, again, just a couple of the things that went on during the season. Listen, it can't all be perfect.
No, it can't.
We have to start from somewhere.
Yes.
And that meant that we, again, were learning as we were going because, no, genuinely, guys, it's just Dionne and I behind the scenes that we cannot.
It's
we
so
cannot
tough.
overstate
This
that.
is like, honestly, going to sleep at crazy hours. You know,
4 a.m.
Exactly.
Some days, yeah.
Making sure that timestamps, reels, spelling mistakes, all these little
Grammar
things.
checking everything, Instagram
Yeah,
captions.
everything. Like, it's not just chuck this up, chuck that up, chuck this up, chuck that up. Even down to some of the pictures you're seeing being posted online. This is not like we've got a professional cameraman.
This is just
like,
us.
It's literally just us, yeah. It would be great to have somebody, but it is us. You know, as you know, we had a lot of issues. Issues.
It's, you know, some parts of it were wonky.
Yeah.
But again, I think
It's learning.
it's learning. And I think definitely for me, one of the biggest things that I've learned from this season is to kind of release that perfectionism.
Yes.
I'm a massive perfectionist.
Yes.
And that's just such a setup.
Not such a setup.
It's such a setup. It's such a massive own goal because it means that I'm constantly like over-analyzing everything.
Yeah.
And there were things in this season that were completely beyond our control.
100%.
And so no matter how much we panicked about it, no matter how perfect we wanted it to be, it just couldn't be.
had to release it. You just had to.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's a massive takeaway. Massive takeaway from this season for me.
And also, I would say and we know we've really had this conversation privately, but being two girls, two women doing this and being handled a certain way that just men would not be handled in, or being classed as maybe a little bit too much or a little bit too...
I'll be a bitch if I need to be. We've said that already. Like, we will be that way if we need to be. We approach and handle everything and everyone with a lot of respect because that's just our baseline. We were raised right. Feel me? But equally, we're not here to be like poked and prodded and spoken to any kind of way or treated any kind of way. And if we're not happy with something, we're going to verbalize that.
Yeah, and like you literally just said, this is our own money.
Okay.
It's not like the bank of mum and dad or the bank of somebody else. This is our own money. So we really, regardless of if it wasn't or was our own money, to be fair, if we're paying for something, we expect to be handled in a certain way.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it was a little bit disappointing seeing people handle us in certain ways. I just know for a fact, if we were two guys doing this, we just wouldn't have had that ish, you know what I mean, at our doorstep. So that was slightly disappointing.
Yeah, just the degree of professionalism kind of again going out the door because we're nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And honestly, one evening, Dionne and I just called each other and were like, let's dead that.
It's got to stop.
Let's dead that.
It's got to stop.
Because everyone's playing a bit too much. And I think they forget that, again, we're business women.
Yeah.
We've been doing this a long time. We were signing deals at 14, 15, 16. And so we know how to be, do you know what I mean, smart asses if we need to be. And we know how to be tough. We just choose peace.
Yeah, and don't take our kindness as a weakness.
Clock that.
You know what I mean? We're being kind to you because, well, you should be kind to people. Do you know what I mean? But then that doesn't mean that you then be like, oh, they're pushovers or they're this. No. We're just being nice because that's, like you said, we've been raised correctly. But yeah, that was definitely played in our faces a lot, which was disappointing. Yeah. Quite frankly, it was disappointing. But we're good now. Another thing is aligning our days with the show. Yeah. Obviously, the show is one thing that we do together, but we have separate lives. Yeah. Believe it or not. We're not joined by the hip. And also our guests. Our guests have outside lives. And that was another thing, trying to lock down people and make sure people were available. Again, it falls back into that thing of because we don't have a big bank, we can't. If someone says I can only do Wednesday, it's like, okay, Wednesday's done. Yeah. We pray you don't cancel Wednesday because we booked out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. People have to be paid. But yeah, we've got other stuff going on. Do you know what I mean? We've got our own personal projects and Kabba, obviously, songwriting stuff as well. So it's juggling all of that stuff and making sure we can still sit down with each other at least once a week and flesh out, okay, what are we doing now for the pod? Yeah. But also, I would say my personal thing, I thought it'd be more easier getting the guests. I didn't think it was going to be this hard. I thought we could just like knock it out. No, I really did. I thought we were going to knock it out.
I think we will eventually, once we're on like season 6, we'll show what our season 1 guest list was. Yeah. And old. Only because... we looked at it again when we were talking about how we were going to do this outro episode. We looked at like our season 1. We looked at our guest list and we were like,
maybe not.
We were reaching high.
Ambitious.
We were very, very ambitious. But again, like, imagine not being ambitious.
Why not?
Like, literally, what would be the point of that? So, yeah. But even the guests that we did have, aligning diaries with them, like you said, very, very difficult when we've got busy lives. We've got things that we want to get shaking as well. Yeah. We're both musicians in our own right. Yes. And ultimately, this is an extension of us as musicians too. Even though next season we want to talk to a wider variety of people, but we'll get to that. Yeah, we will get to that. So, skipping a beat a little bit, can you share me a gem that you've learned from each guest for this season or from this season?
Yeah, so I guess Mimi earning her stripes. I really, really liked Mimi's interview. I really, really did. I thought she was a great girl.
Yeah, loved her.
A little bit naive of me to also feel like bloggers just blog. It wasn't really, it's not something that I didn't really look at bloggers, if I'm being completely honest. I might read their articles and stuff, but I didn't actually take time to deep who's done this article. Yeah. But speaking to her and seeing how she handles it as a woman, as a black woman as well, and the challenges she faced, and just the fact that it is genuinely a craft. writing is a craft.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like every day just hop online and say something out of the side of your mouth.
Right.
And speaking to her and just understanding where she started.
Yeah.
And how she's got
She just
to where she
interviewed
has.
Will Smith.
I know.
That's on period.
I know. Usher, Will Smith.
Hello.
Woo.
The list just grows and
It
grows and
does.
grows, and it
And
will
she's so
keep
young.
growing. Yeah,
She's
she's
so young.
incredible.
So she deserves every little bit that she's got.
Mm-hmm.
For me, with Uzo, I think this was yours as well, making music because he loves it.
Yeah.
It was actually really nice to hear someone say that. Because sometimes you can hear in people's music, it's like,
Somebody forced you to
someone
do this. Yeah.
someone held you down.
Somebody literally forced you to sing these songs, huh?
Literally.
Yeah.
So that was nice with Uzo. And I think I said this to you as well. We've known Uzo for a very long time, you longer than me. But I actually walked out of that interview and I said to you, I was like, wow, I feel like I know more about him from this interview than I did since I've known him since he was like 17 or whatever. So yeah, those are my gems from those two. What about you?
For mine, Mimi's were, saying she's earned her stripes for sure. And she wants her flowers now.
Yes.
That really resonated with me
Yes.
because I think maybe it's being a Brit. It's definitely being a black girl.
Yes.
We are, not me about to quote Chimamanda, but we're taught to shrink ourselves, right? We tell girls, don't be too much. But it's
No,
so
but it's
real,
true,
though.
it's true.
It's
All
so
jokes aside.
real in that, like, you know, we've definitely struggled to pop our shit. Like, we've struggled to be like, actually, I deserve to be here.
Yeah.
Actually, I put in the time, I put in the effort, and I deserve my flowers.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be dead
Yeah.
and bloody worm food.
But
you know what I
what
mean?
does it
Before
for
I get
me?
those flowers.
I hate that we have to say that.
I know.
Why do we have to
I
say
know.
that? We should say that
Yeah.
because there's nothing wrong with tooting your own horn. But I just hate the fact that it's like, why do you have to say I should be getting my flowers?
Yeah, I think, again, in this country, in life in general, if you don't big yourself up, and I also learned this from Bella too, like, the world won't.
Yeah.
If you don't say, I made this, I did this, you know what I mean? Nobody else will acknowledge it. People will take credit for what you've done.
Yeah.
And so I really loved that Mimi was like, I want my flowers now.
Yeah.
I want them now while I'm young and I'm supple
Yeah.
and I'm alive, honey. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want them when I'm gone.
No.
And you're like, oh, man,
She was
Mimi,
so
that girl,
good.
she
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, no.
You know, I want them now. So that
She
was,
is.
yeah, she is. And that stuck with me. And like you said, for MNEK, absolutely the thing of, I have to love it for
Yes.
me. I have to love it for me,
Yeah.
whether it be in my music, whether it be this show,
Yeah.
whether it be anything, any branch
Yeah.
of thing that we decide to do as creatives, as musicians, have to love it for yourself. Because again, you know, you could be doing something for somebody else or for this audience, or back in the day, for example, writing a song for radio. Child, that ain't guaranteed to go on radio.
No.
You know what I mean?
Especially
this
not
ain't
today.
guaranteed. Today it's very tricky.
Yeah.
But ultimately, whatever you're doing, you have to want to do it for yourself and you have
100%.
to love it for
Yeah.
yourself. All right, babes, give me one for no guidance.
It's got to be the 25% thing.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really liked what ZK said, how, you know, we're all 25%. No one's more, no one's less.
Yeah.
If one person's out, they still represent no guidance. It was nice to see young boys be so aware of that, because I genuinely think there's a misconception sometimes with groups that people don't like each other in the groups and they're just there because whatever. And they genuinely got on with each other. They were really, really nice guys, and seeing, I guess it was quite a mature stance.
Absolutely.
Like,
very mature.
Yeah, but it was nice to see, because I remember bands when we were that age, I remember them being so immature.
It's almost like they were infantilized. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Because I don't know that these people were immature, you know what I mean? But we just, whatever product we were
Yep.
sold basically just made them seem like teenagers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I don't ever remember a group when I was younger actually sitting there in an interview going, no, we all make up this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's nice to see. It's really, really nice to see, especially as they were manufactured, like they said. It's nice to see that they really, really respect each other. They really, really like each other. And I think it shows as well.
Absolutely.
So that was definitely my little gem for them. What about you?
I think mine, I've got two.
Yeah, go
So
on.
one of them was celebrating all of the wins,
Yes.
like big or small. I really like that. I really like they said that they like to go out for like little dinners. And I've even seen since the interview, you know, them celebrating this amount of streams or whatever. I think that's amazing. I'm definitely a celebrate every win kind of person. So that really stuck with me. And I also liked that there's a healthy level of competition with those boys.
Yes.
I like that when I asked, like, if one person goes in the booth and tears it up, what are you lot saying?
Yeah,
and they're all like, yeah, we also go back in the booth and tear it up again. Yeah. I like that. But they said it's to, you know, to push each other to all be at the same standard. I think
it's not jealousy.
It's not jealousy. Again, it's healthy competition.
Yeah.
It's constructive criticism. It isn't like, oh, he's a better singer than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, like a very immature way of looking at things is actually incredibly grown. And I think there's so much longevity when you think like that. You know what I mean?
100%.
Think bigger picture in that way. So yeah, they ate that for me.
They did.
Real
and
bad.
I love them boys. They're great.
Me too.
And Bella.
Yes. Miss Bella.
For me,
Yeah.
I actually loved hearing Bella talk about the sickle cell stuff. And just understanding it. For me, it was the comment she said when she got a call about doing something, and she was like to her mum, like, "Oh my God, but I don't want it to pass me. Like, it might not come back around." Da 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 da. And her mum was like, "No, like what will be, and it will find you." And just the fact that it ended up coming. I think she said it was the Rolling Stones that ended up happening, but it was that thing of
what is yours is yours.
what is yours is yours. And also with Bella, like we said, it's already hard as a woman, a black woman, and then on top of having sickle cell and your body actually telling you pause. For me, seeing Bella again win and just show strength
Period.
and unapologetically a big supporter of herself.
Pop her shit. Yeah,
That's another
I lived
thing.
for that.
Yeah, that's another thing. So I'd say that for me, it was what will find you will find you. What about you?
My Bella quote is, "It's not in my DNA to not be excellent."
Yeah.
I said, oh, look at
Period.
how she ate that. Look at how
Yeah,
she ate.
yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. Again, we keep going back to this thing of like, we need to stop shrinking ourselves.
Yes.
We need to stop shrinking ourselves. She knows that in her core.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter what obstacles she faces, it's just not in her DNA to not be excellent.
No, 100%. And there's times when, you know, you doubt your excellence.
100%. Oh my God, we all have it on this journey. Again,
Yeah.
imposter syndrome.
Yes.
For me and you, I know we've had several conversations about feeling like, I don't know if it's these exact words, but almost feeling left behind in some certain ways. Because we started so early, you know, we're not, again, afforded the same level of grace as people who have just started now. And we're almost looked at as the has-beens.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because, you know, it's like when we reached out to Mimi and she didn't, ultimately Mimi didn't see the message at first. And then she eventually saw it and she was like, oh my God, I had no idea. And then when she was saying that thing of like, oh my God, I loved you guys when I was younger, and I thought, see, she didn't have to say that.
Yeah.
She didn't have to say that. She didn't have to acknowledge the fact that she rocked with our music or not, but she said it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh my God, like, when we're a fan of your stuff, do you know what I mean? And again, because we've done stuff when we were younger, sometimes I feel like some people don't even want to give us the like, oh yeah, you lot were about at a young age. Like, that's incredible.
What were you doing at 17 and 18? Oh, since we want to get bright.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of that, of course. Again, there's a lot of, oh yeah, there has beens, or you had one number one. It's like, but you've got no number ones.
Well, there you go.
You had an A Grammy, well, you've got none. So maybe
Exactly.
let's discuss
That.
Do you get it?
let's really discuss it.
Do you get it? But again, we don't want to be these people.
No.
We
no.
don't want to be these people.
No, we don't. But then again, it stems back to the Bella thing of like acknowledging the fact that like, yeah, I am that person.
Yeah.
Do you know
I'm
what I
that
mean?
girl. I am that girl. We are
Yeah.
those girls for real.
I hate it. I hate it so much when, like, again, it goes also back to certain people not thinking that the show was going to look how it does. And it's like, what have we done in our past that makes you think it will not be good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we also had a phone conversation once, and I remember we having the conversation of, you know, some people are afraid to let you actually shine.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So they damp down what you're
Absolutely.
wanting
They speak
to do.
fear into what you're doing.
100%.
I always say this. I don't share and we actually spoke, I don't think it made the edit, but we spoke to Mimi about this as well, that idea of like, who do you call when you get, you know, exciting news or whatever. And it's very slim pickings.
It is.
But I'm so grateful to be able to have you, to have my other best friend, Isata, to have people that I'm able to call immediately and be like,
guess what?
And and it not be like, Amy, will you be? No, like
Because
them
why?
be like excited. Yeah.
Why would you not be excited for your friend?
Yeah.
You know
Ultimately,
what I mean?
too many people speak fear into other people's hopes and dreams.
Yep.
And again, had we listened to that, this show would have never been a thing.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we've kind of hit the nail on the head, but is there anything that you have learned from any of the guests that stuck with you or you felt like resonated with you?
I think again, the individual things that we've listed, I've learned from the guests, but I think that I've learned to trust my ideas whilst doing this show. I think I'm very clever.
Yeah.
I'm very funny. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, again, it makes me want to it makes me literally want to shrivel up and die to say that, but like I have to say it. No. And just like, I guess, affirmations in the mirror, hopefully one day I'll say that and not feel like I want to shrivel up and die and actually believe it. Yeah.
Please don't. Please don't do that.
But like, I'm an excellent girl. And like, I need to trust that. Yeah. And I need to trust my ideas. And again, perfectionism is because I don't trust myself, or I haven't trusted myself before. And that's why I want it to be perfect. And also just being so scared of so many different things. I'm scared of what I look like. I'm scared of this. I'm scared of, you know, perception. Just like feeling the fear and doing it anyway, taking the leap. And just like, again, trusting my ideas and trusting that if I put my mind to it, it's going to be sick.
100%.
Because, again, reminding myself there's so much evidence against all of this fear that I need to release it.
But that's good that you're aware of it.
Yeah.
And that's something that the industry does to a lot of people. You know what I mean? Because, you're hot, you're not. And some of the hottest people can have a not so hot year, but then come back and knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
But if you listen to people telling you, you might not have that year that comes to knock it out of the park because you just sit down and think,
yeah, exactly.
What's the point? So no, you should never doubt your ideas. And even if you throw out an idea and it's shit, so what? You might say something that is shit, but then it might be like,
it triggers something. Yes,
hang on a minute.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Even like the name of the show.
Purr.
That came from nothing to do with the show. That came from a conversation about men.
Yeah.
And literally just being like, don't be a reserved seat, don't let him whatever. And it's like,
we both went, light bulb. That should be the name of our show. That's so funny. Not us centering men.
Yeah. They're good for something. But yeah, it's that thing of, you know, just don't dim your light. Yeah. God, do not dim your light.
Yeah. Talk to me,
sat
babes.
here with you if you dim
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Light.
No, never again. I will never, ever not trust myself because, listen, the world's my oyster. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And again, I've proven to myself and to others time and time again that I got this. So talk to me. What did you learn, babes?
I would say...
About you.
I think trusting yourself is a very, very good one. Yeah. For sure. I remember vividly us in the Dominican. Mm-hmm. We went to the Dominican, I think it was 2022. We went around about this time, actually. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about the show as well. And I remember there was a moment where I was like, is this right? Do I really see, like, I'm a singer, though. Like, I don't know if I'm... Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I had dabbled in the past with, like, Friday Download. But it was just different. It's very different. It didn't feel, like, conversational, that show. And I remember thinking like, oh, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about it. But like, yeah, I love Amy. And like it's basically going to be like talking to each other. Yeah. And it's only when we actually really sat down and fleshed it out, I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad you had the idea at the start. I'm so glad you done it with me. I'll say that.
Clock that particular Tetley for me. Clock it.
But yeah, I think it's that, and I think I think trust is actually a really, really good one. Yeah. It didn't come into my mind at first, but it is true, and I'm glad to be doing it with someone that I actually trust. That's part of the industry, but it doesn't feel industry. Mm-hmm. And even after however long we've been working on this, I still don't feel like this is like work. Mm-hmm. So I've learned
did at times during the season.
No, it did. It did. But in a sense of,
When it's just us
It's
two, and
enjoyable.
yeah, exactly, and ideas are like rolling back and
Exactly.
forth. So much fun.
And I think it's probably like lit a flame inside me to really be able to like take this show to higher heights.
Period.
For sure.
Big purr. Okay, so before we sign out for the first season, well, first of all, let's talk about what expectations we have for the second season.
Oh,
Or
baby.
where we'd like to take this.
Higher and higher and higher.
Purr.
Take me higher.
Yeah.
Elevating the whole thing.
Yeah.
Again, you touched on branching out guest-wise. We definitely didn't want to just make it music.
Yeah.
We're more than that. Do you know what I mean? We just want
Absolutely.
to talk to people from all different walks of life in entertainment. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to just, making sure we're not just on your screens on your laptop. Do you know what I mean? We want to bring this outside of this room.
Yeah.
And also, just flipping, making it 10 times bigger.
Period.
Oh my God. 10
Yeah.
times bigger. I want everything to just be elevated.
Bigger.
And I want it to be more stress. Like, more stress, less stress.
Whoa.
Not more stress.
Was that
Not
a Freudian
more stress.
slip?
That was a Freudian slip.
I'm terrified.
No.
More stress. If we had any
I
more
want
stress.
more stress.
No. Our wigs would have nothing to bloody glue
Oh
down to. I'd
my-
be bald underneath this wig, Dionne, if you had more stress, girl. God forbid, times 10.
No, not more stress. Less stress.
Yes,
I want it to be
yeah,
less
yeah.
stressful for us. I want it just to be
More seamless.
Exactly. Which we're getting there.
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
What about you?
Exact same. Bigger, better, always.
Yeah.
I see the reserve seat being so sick,
Yeah.
iconic, something that people look back on and go,
Yeah, you ate that.
they did that.
You ate
they
that.
really, really, really did that because, again, it's two girls with massive ideas
Yeah.
that we are going to do our damn best to see come to
execute,
fruition.
yeah.
And to see executed well.
Yeah.
You know, and again, we've got an incredible team. So first and foremost, let's big up the team.
Yes. You don't see them, but you wouldn't see us if it wasn't for them.
Yeah.
They've done incredibly well.
Yeah.
And we really, really appreciate them. You guys, you don't realize the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Trust me. So yeah, we want to say thank you very much to everyone behind the camera. You know who you are.
Oh, we're not naming names.
Oh, we can name names
I think
if
we
you
should
want.
name names. Let's put a name on
first of all,
it. Yes.
my god brother, Jonell.
Yeah.
Jonell Rowe. I have to thank you. He's cheesing so hard right now behind the
Yeah,
camera.
these people are in the room.
They
it's
are
gonna
in
be
the
awkward
room. We
for
could
them.
turn the cameras
They
on
have
them.
no idea
but
we're doing this. Yeah.
But no, I thank him very much. He was the first person I thought of actually to go to because he works in films when we were talking about this.
Yep.
And I'm so glad we had someone that just doesn't see it as a business and they see it as like, no, these are family at the end of the day. Your family
absolutely.
too now. Anthony, oh my God, what would
our
we
saviour.
do without you?
Well, before we move on to Anne, again, I just want to add that Jonell has, I think definitely taken on the Big Brother role.
Yes.
In a way that, I never expected him to, and has made sure that we're very looked after.
Yes.
Again, in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, we've had so many amazing conversations with him where we've been able to vent.
Yeah.
He's created a safe space for
oh my
us.
God, absolutely.
And genuinely, there would be several breakdowns if it wasn't for Jonell just like keeping us.
Yeah, being the middle
cool and
person.
calm.
Yeah, he's like our therapist.
Real bad.
He's our show therapist.
Real bad. So thank you, Jonell. Okay,
thank you,
now
Jonell.
Anthony.
Anthony, well, you are a saving grace too.
Legend. Absolute
Big
legend.
up yourself.
Yeah.
These cameras would not exist if it wasn't for Anthony.
Edit.
Would not exist if it wasn't for Anthony. So we love you so much.
We thank you. We thank you.
We
We thank you.
We thank you.
Yeah.
Sunday. It's not a Sunday, but it's always a Sunday when you're around.
Okay. Dionne, get the fuck out.
I had to.
She's so deeply unserious for that. That's hilarious.
Sound. Oh, child.
Oh my
Sound.
God. Sunday had his work cut out for him, the
Sound
poor man.
was the bane of our lives.
Thank you, Sunday.
Appreciate
Times
you.
a trillion
And
for
lighting
real.
as well.
Yeah.
We don't look this good.
Okay.
Without the lighting.
This doesn't happen naturally. This is somebody, really using their brain and being like,
Exactly.
this is what these girls look like.
Exactly.
And again, it's hard to like black girls. Or
That
at least
too.
people make it seem like it's hard to like
No,
black girls.
100%.
So thank you, Sunday, for
We appreciate you.
all
And
the
also
above.
just spending the hours on like working on the edits again. It's no joke. you guys only see like maybe 40 minutes of it, but we're filming for close to 2 hours sometimes, and they have to like whittle this down. And then do it again. And then maybe do it again.
And again and again and again.
And then we might make you do it again.
Yeah.
So for sure, we want to thank Sunday, Corali.
Oh, baby girl.
Our little baby girl.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
for your,
we appreciate you.
We do.
Real bad. Real bad.
We've also got Stella.
Yes. Stella's just
behind
joined the team,
camera
but we
that you're
stand.
looking at me on. Alexa.
For the BTS.
For the BTS.
Well, yes.
Every single hand you see helped. Well, you don't see it, but that operates helped. And also, your little sister.
Oh, yeah. Little
Khadija.
Khadija. She was
Thank
late
you.
today. So I'm talking to mum about
Listen.
that when we get home. However, big up Khadija. I love you,
Khadija,
girl.
I got your back. Don't worry. I'll calm her down. I'll calm her down.
She had the one job. Get here on time, girl. Anyway, no, thank you. Genuinely from the deepest part
we
of my
really
heart,
appreciate
because
it.
there is no way that we would have a reserved seat without all of you incredible people behind the scenes making this shit shake the way that you do.
Yes.
So talented. And obviously you guys know the vibes. Like if you want a show, if you want a podcast, you know, whatever you need, these are the people for you. So their contact will obviously be in the description, but also we'll put their ats on the screen. So yeah, hit them up and get them some more shows, get them some more money. These people deserve the world.
Book them.
Period. Okay, cool. Before we officially sign up for the first season,
Womp, womp, womp.
give me a moment from this season that cracked you up.
It's got to be the voicemail thing with the no guidance boys. That was so funny.
The instant American accents.
I know.
Instantly.
I know.
I was like, where did that come from, y'all?
Do you know what? When we posted this on Instagram, I saw someone said, Casey's laugh was so light-skinned. It was like, haha. And I was like, that is just, when you think of light-skinned people, I was like, yes, it is. It was so funny. It was more funny because they all had their own flipping take on what a voicemail should
absolutely.
sound like.
And accompanying beat as well, mind you.
I know.
Yeah.
They said, ZK?
Yeah.
I don't know what that was.
I'm not sure, ZK. Let's maybe extend that for next season.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to you on that.
We
so
are.
like
We're gonna
prepare
double back.
yourself.
Yeah.
But no, that was so funny. It was so organic as well.
It was jokes.
Yeah.
I genuinely think out of that voicemail, my favorite one might be no, it is Josh's.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because the chaos of it
baby.
all. Hey baby.
Yeah.
Hey baby.
Like, where are we?
Josh.
Where are
It's
we
when
right
Casey
now?
was like,
Yeah.
like, what's wrong with you?
Why did Casey? He's right next to him, and Casey's like breaking his neck to see him. I was like, what's going on here?
He was in utter disbelief.
He was.
That, like, at the energy of it.
Oh,
But,
that was funny.
There was such good sport about that.
They were.
Sports about that. It was really funny.
What was yours?
Mine, without a shadow of a doubt, is us doing the agony aunt section with Mimi. This agony aunt question read, hey Mimi, my boyfriend's music is dead. Are we making it out the hood, basically? Should I stick with him just in case he does blow? Her response to that was, is the wood good?
Yeah. She said, if the wood is good, we're staying in the hood.
She said, if that wood is good, she said, the economy isn't giving single right now, babe. You might want to stick with your man.
That was so funny. I did not expect that response from her.
Hey, yo, we laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. Like, I can't express how much we laughed in the room. But then also, it was the edit, actually.
Yeah.
It was when we were editing it and we got the first draft back and we actually clocked what she said properly. We cackled in our individual
because that
beds.
never nearly made the edit.
Yeah,
And then we watched it and we were like, no,
Nah,
that has to
that
stay
is
in there.
funny.
That was so, it was the thing where she went,
Yeah. And we were waiting for something like profound. She said, is the wood good?
I was like,
Laid me out to rest. So funny.
She's so funny.
Oh my
She's
God, Mimi, we
absolutely
love you. We
hilarious.
love all of our guests.
We
Thank
do.
you again. We
Yeah.
appreciate y'all.
No, thank you so much to you guys for coming on the show. We really appreciate you. Thank you to everyone that watched as well. Everyone that liked, subscribed, and all of that stuff, reposted. We were feeling the love. We really, really were. And again, this show wouldn't be nothing if you guys didn't watch. So we really appreciate this. And also thank you to you, co-host.
Prayer babes. Thank you to you too.
I
boo.
wouldn't want to do it with anyone else.
Real.
No one else.
Truly real. Yes.
And I'm looking forward to next season.
Absolutely.
Onwards and upwards.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be cute. It's gonna be fun.
Gonna be very cute.
It's gonna be fat.
and very fun.
Yes.
So what will be even more funner if you subscribe.
Yes.
And you like.
Yep.
And you repost.
Okay.
All of that stuff. And we will see you soon.
For next season. Signing out officially.
Because that's been the reserved seat.
Woo! Big up, big up, big up, big up. Bye.